America's a wealthy country. America's a wealthy country. But for the last 30 years, all that wealth has been concentrated in the top 1% of Americans. Okay? And in the large corporations, they're made profitable by shipping jobs overseas. During this time, the American dream has started to fade. Okay? The middle class has shrunk. And we're stuck with a 9% unemployment rate nationally. Here in Dade County, 12%. Okay? At the same time, our infrastructure, our bridges, our roads, our schools, they're falling into disrepair. President Obama has proposed a jobs bill intended to start fixing infrastructure by creating jobs.
Join us.
.org, as members of the American
Get a sign.
have gathered here today and have
Come on, gotta go home. This is your school. It's okay. 10-15 minutes helps.
Fighting together to create jobs for all Americans. We are the 99%, and we are demanding that politicians in Washington invest in job creation and make Wall Street millionaires pay their fair share. President Obama's jobs bill would provide $180 million to fix schools and another $80 million to keep teachers from being laid off. West Homestead Elementary isn't on the top of the list as far as repairs needed, but they're typical of many of the schools in the county, and they don't get the attention that other schools get because of where they're located down here. And that's why we're here. If there are any parents here, I want them to ask your principal and your students' teachers what needs to be done and support them with the school board and with your votes. Okay? $180 million is just a start. These are not short-term jobs. At $180 million, it's going to take more than 10 years to catch up here in Dade County. Please call or write your representatives to tell them you will support the creation of jobs with your votes in the next election. That's all I have to say. Steve Maister lives down here.
And as you've heard, the richest 1% of our country, well, in my opinion, they think they own this country. And the Republicans think they own this country. And the reason they have to get rid of Barack Obama is because he got in the way of them being the king. They had a king here under George Bush, and then the next Republican didn't make it. So they want their kingship back. The 1% we know, for too many years have been able to buy Congress. And those votes that Congress makes always provide them with lower taxes and big loopholes, so they don't have to pay their fair share. And over the last 30 years, the income of the richest 1% of Americans has increased greatly, but their tax rate has gone way down. The top tax rate right now in the United States for the richest people is about half of what it was at the end of Ronald Reagan's presidency. So you can see every time a Republican Congress has had their way, the taxes for the rich have gone down. It's time to change that. We have to change that now. We saying they want to pay more taxes. They're talking to the Republicans and say, you know, stop it. Let us all pay our fair share. And that's a great new movement. And it's good that the veterans are included in the president's jobs bill for getting preference for jobs. And that's fine. We all support that. But that's not the only thing.
People that are in Washington, D.C. and the occupiers are working there. And what I have to say is a little bit alarming to a lot of people because the press has not done a lot of coverage on what's really going on in our judicial system. But if you watched CBS News 60 Minutes last week, you would have heard Jack Abramoff how he said to Leslie Stahl that he owned 120 congressmen. He owned their offices and he owned everything. Anything he wanted, he would put a bill in and make the bill so it was basically unreadable to pass something. And that's what's going on in Congress. Yet, when I go to Congress and I fight for the elderly and fight for elderly rights and just people that are not elderly, the senator, I went and met with Senator Klobuchar on November 2nd to speak about what's going on in our courts, how competent elderly people are being ruled incapacitated, stripped of their civil rights, and then the attorneys and guardians are going in and stealing their entire estates. For
what Robert said, that I think, and what Steve said about the millionaires that want to be taxed, I don't know how many of you saw that yesterday. I got an email that said 67% of the millionaires want to be taxed. A lot of the people that Robert is talking about are, guess what? Democrats.
I believe it.
Okay? So when we run around demonizing the Republicans, and God knows they deserve it, okay? I don't want you to think that I'm a closet Republican, because I'm not. They certainly deserve it. But what I want to share, and I hope you guys can get this, is we don't want to be demonizing anybody, because we are all Americans. And if we don't learn to work together, we are not going to get these problems in the United States. The corporate party, and it doesn't matter. I think the president, and I love him, is making more money from the corporations than ever before. Have you heard that in the 3 years Obama has been president, the hedge fund managers and the Wall Street people have made more than they did in all of Bush's 8 years? The corporate profits are greater now than they ever have been, okay? So what we have to do is we have to get an alternative to the corporate
politics. Get money out of politics. Get money out of politics.
Great.
We need money for our school, for books.
What school are you from?
I'm from Burton. We need books.
Turn your side around.
We need books. We need pencils. We need classworks. We need to fix our room and stuff because in our toilet when it gets stuffed up, it don't go away, and we need our stuff to clean up, because if somebody go in the bathroom and if it gets dirty, somebody might be scared.
Yes. We need new rooms, and we need bigger classes, more teachers. We need more supplies for our school.
It's only for labs, for our teachers.
Oh, the lab is only for... So you need computers.
You need computers.
That line. We have the best politicians.
Where are the jobs? Where are the
Thank you for
jobs?
coming.
Where are the jobs?
Please send me the information, okay? Would you please send me the information?
Yes.
You're out.
Yes. All right.
I'll be looking for your job.
All right. Thank you.
My son.
These bills are not just policies that different parties. It's policies that directly affect individuals. And
Right. It's non-political. Jobs are non-political.
Exactly. It affects real lives, real people. So we need to stand up for it.
Right.
Well,
Thank you.
Because sometimes, you know, you come to these rallies and you don't see a lot of people, because I think that individually people don't think that it impacts you as an individual, and it does. It impacts every realm of your life.
Right.
But people just don't understand that. So,
We had 4 people that were supposed to come because they were in the process of foreclosure because they lost jobs, but unfortunately they didn't show up.
So sometimes, I mean, if you think that it doesn't impact you specifically, then you say, well, that doesn't affect me, because you know we see it. We're seeing it with what's happening with the immigration bills, or the non-activity of our Congress to pass something that is fair to all Americans. Because I don't care whether you were born in this country or not. Just by the fact that you're here, you're an American.
Why do you think they don't want to do anything?
I think that a lot of stuff has to do with just people not understanding, and some folks just, I mean, when we look at what the impact of not having Congress pass a fair immigration policy, then you've got all these states that are taking it on their own hands to do what they think they ought to do, like Alabama and Arizona. You know,
Right,
so
and they're starting to pay the price.
they're starting to pay the price, and good. I mean, let them continue bringing felons to the fields, and let them continue bringing Americans to
They thought there would be all sorts of people to take the jobs, right?
You know, they'll last another half a day.
And the reason that I'm here today is that I feel very strongly that corporate interests have influenced our politics to the point where politicians are no longer representing the American people. I think that the idea that we have a democracy that's functional for us is false.
You think our vote doesn't count anymore?
I think that a lot of people are apathetic and feel like their vote doesn't count. It may count some, I don't know. It's hard to tell these days how much your vote counts. I think that until people start organizing and presenting themselves on the streets like the 99% Occupy movement or other similar type of things, whatever it takes to get to make enough noise, to get enough pressure on the people that are governing us, it's never going to happen. They're not going to do it on their own. They need to be pushed strongly in this direction, and if we remain apathetic, it is not going to occur, and we may not deserve what we get, but we will get it.